I am 103 years old. I have buried friends, watched generations rise and disappear, and learned what truly matters when time runs out. If I could speak to my younger self, I would beg him to listen to this sooner. Life does not warn you before it changes forever. One ordinary day becomes your last chance to say the words you delayed, the last hug you assumed you would give tomorrow. People think they have time. That is the biggest lie life tells. Before you scroll away, listen carefully. What I learned took me a lifetime. I am 103 years old now. I have lived through wars, loss, love, hunger, success, and long quiet mornings. And if I could sit next to you right now, hold your hand, and tell you only one thing, it would be this: time is the only thing you truly own, and most people spend it like it will never end. When you are young, time feels cheap. You wake up and think tomorrow is guaranteed. You say, I will do it later. You say, one day I will change. You say, I am too busy right now. I said those things too. At 20, I thought life was endless. At 40, I thought I still had plenty of time. At 60, I started noticing the years moving faster. At 80, time began running instead of walking. At 100, time became quiet, precious, fragile. No one tells you this clearly. When you are young, time does not move at the same speed forever. Every year goes faster than the last. I remember whole summers from my childhood. Now years pass like weeks. People waste time on anger. They waste it on proving they are right. They waste it chasing approval from people who will forget them anyway. They waste it worrying about things that never happen. I did that too. I held grudges that did not matter. I stayed in conversations that drained my soul. I delayed joy because I thought there would be a better moment. There is rarely a perfect moment. Time is not money. You can lose money and earn it again. You can lose time once and it is gone forever. I learned this slowly, and I learned it late. I watched people I loved disappear, parents, friends, neighbors. One by one they left without warning. No goodbye felt complete. No conversation felt long enough. That is when I understood something painful and simple. Every time you see someone could be the last time. When I was younger, I rushed conversations. I half listened. I looked at the clock instead of the face in front of me. Now I wish I could hear those voices again. Time is not just hours and days. Time is moments. Time is presence. Being fully there with someone you love. Sitting in silence without needing to check anything. Listening without planning your reply. Those moments are life. People think success is about speed. Faster results, faster growth, faster wins. But life is not impressed by speed. Life rewards attention. I rushed so much in my middle years. I chased goals. I chased security. I chased someday. And when I finally reached many of those goals, I realized something heavy. The moments I rushed through were more valuable than the things I was rushing toward. I missed sunsets because I was busy. I missed laughter because I was tired. I missed saying I love you because I assumed there was time. There is always less time than you think. If I could change one habit from my life, it would be this: I would slow down sooner, not to be lazy, but to be present. Slow down when eating with someone you care about. Slow down when your child talks to you. Slow down when your heart feels something real. You do not need to fill every moment. You need to feel it. At 103, my days are quiet, but they are full. I watch light move across the room. I listen to my breath. I remember faces, and I finally understand what mattered. Not how busy I was, not how much I earned, not how many people knew my name. What mattered was how I spent my time. Did I give it to love? Did I give it to kindness? Did I give it to things that made my heart calm? Or did I give it away to noise? Time does not ask permission before leaving. It does not warn you. It does not wait for you to be ready. That is why now is powerful. Not tomorrow, not next year. Now, if you are listening to this, you still have time. That alone makes you rich. Use it carefully. Use it gently. Use it on things that will still matter when your hair turns white and your hands grow slow. One day you will look back like I do, and on that day you will not wish you worked more hours. You will wish you were more present in the hours you had. Time is the only thing you truly own. Spend it like it is precious. I am 103 years old. I have buried people I once loved deeply. I have lost friends over words that were spoken in pain, and I have carried anger far longer than it deserved. If there is one weight that ages you faster than time, it is anger. When you are young, anger feels powerful. It makes you feel right. It makes you feel strong. It makes you feel protected. But anger does not protect you. It quietly eats your days. I learned this slowly. I remember arguments that lasted years, not because the problem was big, but because pride was bigger. Someone said something careless. I replied with silence. That silence became distance. That distance became years. And one day I realized something painful. The problem was long gone, but the time was gone too. Anger has a strange way of lying to you. It tells you that holding on is strength. It tells you that letting go means losing. At 103, I can tell you the truth. Letting go is not losing. It is choosing peace. Most of the things we fight about do not matter in the end. Who was right? Who spoke first? Who apologized last? When people reach my age, they do not remember arguments clearly. They remember faces. They remember voices. They remember who is no longer here. I have watched people die without closure. No final conversation. No soft ending. And the anger I once felt very small in those moments. Anger keeps you tied to the past. Forgiveness frees your future. Forgiveness does not mean someone was right. It means you are done carrying the pain. I wish I understood this earlier. I spent nights replaying words in my head. I lost sleep over moments that should have lasted minutes. Meanwhile, life kept moving. Children grew up. Parents grew old. Time passed quietly while I was busy being angry. Anger steals presence. You can be in a room and not be there. Your body sits in a chair, but your mind is trapped in yesterday. At my age, peace is more valuable than pride. I would trade being right 100 times for one calm morning. Some people think forgiveness is weak, but it takes courage to release resentment. You forgive for yourself, not for them, because anger does not punish the other person. It punishes you. Your heart becomes heavy. Your smile becomes rare. Your days feel shorter. I look back now and see moments I cannot get back, not because of death, but because of anger. People I could have hugged, conversations I could have softened, laughter that never happened. If I could speak to my younger self, I would say this: say sorry faster, forgive sooner. Do not wait for the perfect words. Life does not give refunds on time. Not every relationship can be saved, and that is okay. But do not let anger be the reason something ends. Let clarity decide. Let peace decide. At 103, I wake up with a quiet heart, not because my life was perfect, but because I finally learned what to put down. Anger is heavy. You were never meant to carry it for long. Put it down. Choose peace while you still can. One day you will realize this truth too. I only hope you realize it earlier than I did. I am 103 years old. I have watched love arrive quietly, and I have watched it leave without warning. If there is one truth that becomes painfully clear at my age, it is this: love is not endless in time. The chance to express it is even shorter. When you are young, love feels permanent. You assume people will always be there. You assume there will be another call, another visit, another holiday. I assumed that too. I thought love was something you felt inside. I did not understand that love must be shown, not stored. I loved many people deeply, but I did not always say it. I did not always show it. I believed they already knew. That belief was a mistake. Life does not move gently with people. It takes them suddenly, sometimes without goodbye, sometimes without warning. And when that happens, love that was never spoken becomes regret. I remember moments clearly now. A conversation I cut short, a hug I did not give, a message I planned to send later. Later never came. People think love is about big gestures, grand words, perfect moments, but love lives in small things: listening without rushing, sitting beside someone without distraction, choosing patience when irritation would be easier. I wish I understood that earlier. I was busy working, busy worrying, busy planning the future. And while I was busy, people around me were aging, changing, quietly needing more love than they asked for. Children do not ask for love directly, they ask for attention. Partners do not ask for love loudly, they ask for presence. I miss some of those signs. At 103, I can tell you something clearly: love that is not expressed becomes a heavy memory. People leave this world not knowing how deeply they mattered, and the ones left behind carry that silence forever. Say the words while you can. I love you. I am proud of you. I am glad you are here. These words feel small when spoken, but they become enormous when they are missing. Love is not just for happy days. It matters even more during difficult ones. I remember times when someone needed kindness, and I offered advice instead. They needed warmth, not solutions. Now I understand. You do not need to fix people. You need to stand with them. Love means being there when you are tired. Love means choosing softness when you feel hard. Love means showing up even when it is inconvenient. At my age, I no longer remember achievements clearly. I remember who held my hand, who sat with me, who stayed. Those are the memories that remain. If you are listening to this, you still have people in your life, some close, some distant, some quiet. Do not assume there is time. Call them, visit them, speak gently to them. Love grows only when it is used. One day you will look back like I do now, and you will not wish you loved less. You will wish you loved more, sooner, and louder. Love people while you still can. That is one lesson time never lets you learn twice. I am 103 years old. I have spent many years searching for happiness, and many more years realizing I was often standing right inside it. When you are young, happiness feels like a destination. You believe it is waiting somewhere ahead of you. After success, after money, after everything finally makes sense, I believed that too. I thought happiness would arrive when life became easier, when problems disappeared, when I felt proud all the time. That day never came. Life never becomes perfect. It becomes real. Happiness does not arrive loudly. It rarely announces itself. Most of the time it passes quietly while you are busy looking elsewhere. I missed it many times. I rushed through good days because I was focused on better ones. I complained during peaceful moments because they felt ordinary. I thought happiness had to feel exciting. It does not. At 103, I know this now. Happiness feels calm. It is waking up without fear, drinking something warm slowly, sharing a small laugh that costs nothing. Happiness is not a high feeling. It is a gentle one. When I was younger, I chased big moments, achievements, recognition, applause, and when I reached some of them, they faded quickly. The joy lasted days, sometimes hours. Then the hunger returned. Happiness cannot be held, but it can be noticed. I remember moments that did not seem important at the time. Sitting outside in the evening, listening to familiar sounds, feeling tired in a peaceful way. Those moments stayed with me longer than any achievement. People say, I will be happy when I earn more, when I move away, when I become someone else. That sentence delays joy. You do not need a different life to feel happiness. You need a different attention. Happiness lives in simple things, but the mind is trained to ignore them. We are taught to chase more, faster, bigger, but the heart wants less, slower, enough. I spent years comparing my life to others, thinking I was behind, thinking I was missing something. Comparison stole many peaceful days from me. At 103, I do not compare any more. I notice. I notice sunlight on the floor. I notice silence. I notice gratitude without excitement. That is happiness. Happiness does not remove pain. Both can exist together. Some of my happiest moments came during hard times, not because life was easy, but because I felt connected. Connection brings quiet joy. Being fully present brings peace. If I could speak to my younger self, I would say this: stop chasing happiness like it is running away from you. It is not. Slow down. Look closer. The life you are waiting for may already be happening. At the end of life, happiness is not a memory of success. It is a memory of moments, moments you noticed, moments you did not rush through. Happiness was never far. You were just looking too hard. Learn to notice it now. I am 103 years old. I have lived long enough to see life unfold in its own time, and I have learned something simple and hard to accept. Life does not rush. Only people do. When you are young, patience feels like waiting. Waiting feels like wasting time. So you push, you hurry, you compare your path to others. I did the same. I wanted answers quickly. I wanted success early. I wanted people to understand me immediately. Life did not agree. Some lessons took decades. Some growth happened silently. Some dreams arrived late, but arrived ready. Impatience made me suffer more than failure ever did. I worried about being behind. I worried about missing chances. I worried about not becoming enough. All that worry changed nothing. It only stole peace. At 103, I see the pattern clearly. Everything meaningful in my life needed time. Love took time to deepen. Wisdom took time to settle. Peace took time to arrive. Nothing valuable rushed toward me. I planted seeds without knowing when they would grow. Some bloomed quickly, some took years, some never bloomed at all, and that was okay. When you are impatient, you fight reality. When you are patient, you walk with it. I remember moments when life said, "Not yet." I felt frustrated. I felt ignored. Now I understand. Not yet was protection. Some things I wanted early would have broken me. Some paths I missed saved me from becoming someone I would not recognize. Life sees farther than you do. Patience is not giving up. It is trusting the process without knowing the outcome. I used to think patience meant doing nothing. It does not. It means doing what you can, then allowing time to do what only time can do. At my age, I see how much energy I wasted fighting timing, trying to force relationships, trying to rush healing, trying to become ready before I was ready. Nothing grows faster because you stare at it. Some pain fades only when it has taught you enough. Some clarity comes only after confusion. If I could speak to my younger self, I would say this: you are not late. You are learning. Life is not a race. It is a rhythm. When you rush, you miss the music. At 103, my days move slowly, and for the first time, that feels right. I am no longer in a hurry to arrive anywhere. I am already here. Be patient with life. It has its reasons, and one day you will understand them too. If these words touch something inside you, do not ignore that feeling. Pause for a moment. Let the silence speak. If you are still here, it means you still have time. Time to live differently. Time to love more openly. If this message felt true, stay with this channel. Subscribe, not for entertainment, but for reminders that matter. Share this with someone you care about. You never know who needs to hear it today. And before you leave, ask yourself one quiet question: what will I do differently while I still can?